All right, welcome. Today, we are diving headfirst into a really bold claim from our source material. The idea is that the age of programming with complex code, well, it's ending, and that we are right in the middle of, and I'm quoting here, the single greatest literacy shift since the invention of the printing press. I mean, wow, that's a huge statement, right? So let's get into it and see what's really behind all this.
So let's just start with this big, provocative question. For decades, right, if you wanted to command a computer, you had to learn its language Python, Java, C, you name it. But what if the most powerful programming language of the future is the one you're already speaking? The whole era where a pretty small group of coders held all the keys to the kingdom, that's coming to a close. Something new is starting.
And this right here, this is the absolute heart of the shift. The new barrier, the thing standing in your way of programming a supercomputer, it isn't your ability to write lines of code anymore. No, it's your ability to articulate your thoughts with precision, with clarity, and with real strategic intent. The machine, it can handle the number crunching. Your job is to give it the perfect instruction. This is what our source material is calling the Great Literacy Shift. But here's the kicker, the really crucial point. It also says that most people are dangerously unprepared for this new reality. They're still just kind of talking at AI, not actually programming with it. So how do you get prepared? Well, it starts by avoiding a very, very common mistake.
To really get what that mistake is, let's actually jump back in time a little. All the anxiety around AI right now, that it's changing too fast to keep up, it's not that different from what people felt at the turn of the 20th century during another massive tech shift. And our source uses this fantastic analogy to make a really critical point. In this slide really lays out the two different paths you can take. On one side, you've got people chasing these so-called magic prompts for today's AI. That's like trying to train a better horse. It's a temporary skill that becomes totally useless the second a new model, a faster car, gets released. You're always playing catch-up. But the other path, learning to drive, that's about mastering timeless principles. And that's the absolute key. Think about it. The basic principles of driving have stayed pretty much the same for over 100 years, no matter what car you're in. It's the same idea here. The fundamental principles of communicating with an AI are durable. Mastering them is how you go from being a passenger to actually getting in the driver's seat of this new technology. So how do you get your license? The answer, according to our source, is a systematic framework. This isn't about collecting a bunch of temporary hacks or tricks. It's what the source calls your driver's license for the AI age. It's a brand new literacy called Linguistics Programming. So what is linguistics programming exactly? Well, you can think of it as a set of durable rules of the road that work on any AI, now or in the future. It's kind of like the underlying physics of human-AI communication. It's the thing that lets you stop just asking the AI random questions and start engineering specific high-quality outcomes. It's how you become the architect. So these are the rules of the road. The framework is built on three core pillars. First up is efficiency and precision. This is all about using things like linguistic compression and strategic word choice to make your commands really dense and direct. Second is clarity and structure, which you get through contextual clarity and structured design. This is how you kill the ambiguity that makes AI mess up. And finally, you've got adaptation and responsibility. That means having system awareness of the tool you're using and, crucially, the ethical responsibility that comes with it. Okay, so that's the theory. Sounds good, right? But how do you actually learn to do this? The good news is, mastering this new literacy doesn't mean you have to sign up for some crazy expensive boot camp. It just requires deliberate practice. And the source lays out a really clear, actionable plan to get you from novice to expert in just 1 month. Let's check it out.
The whole journey is broken down into 4 weeks, nice and simple. Each week builds directly on the last one, so you're systematically layering these skills. You start in week 1 with the real basics of writing clean code. Then you move to architecting bigger outcomes in week 2. Week 3 is all about developing real sophistication. And then in week 4, you bring it all together to build something genuinely powerful. And to make this super concrete, here is a daily drill right from week 1. It's called the 30-second prompt surgery. The mission is simple. Before you hit send on any prompt, you have to cut every single filler word. No more pleases, no more could use. The goal is to give the AI a clean, powerful signal instead of a bunch of conversational noise. It's a tiny habit that has a huge, immediate impact on your results.
And you know what the best part is? You don't need any fancy or expensive software to do this. The most critical tools are your own mind and a simple text editor. The foundation of all of this is just deliberate thought and practice, not some complex program. This new literacy is genuinely accessible to everyone.
So, we've covered the problem, the solution, and the plan to get there. Now we get to the stakes. Because this isn't just about writing better prompts to get your homework done. This literacy shift is creating a fundamental divide in the new economy. And according to the source, there is no middle ground.
I'm just going to let that sink in for a second. This is the stark choice that our source material presents. As this technology gets woven into every part of our lives, you will either be the one giving the instructions, or you will be the one whose reality is shaped by the instructions of other people. And look, with this kind of power comes immense responsibility. The principles of linguistics programming, they're just neutral tools. They can be used to create an incredible, empowering educational course, or they can be used to architect manipulative propaganda at scale. The choice to be an ethical programmer is a continuous, conscious decision that rests entirely on you. So here's the bottom line. You now see the shift that's happening all around us. You have the core principles of this new literacy, and you have an actionable plan to master them. The choice to be the expert driver, to be the architect, to be the one who programs instead of being programmed, well, that choice is yours. And the future really doesn't wait for those who are unprepared.